Hi everyone, welcome back to another session. Today we are going to discuss the lead code problem number 22, generate the parenthesis. Given n pairs of the parentheses, write a function to generate all the combinations of the well-formed parentheses. So what you are trying to say that n is the pairs of parentheses. How many pairs of parentheses we have it? So the problem is saying that the given number n, for example, let's say 2 or 3. So 3 means 3 pairs of parentheses. We have to generate it. The parentheses, the combination of the open and closing parentheses. That's a problem. So let's go ahead and see that. Okay, for an example, n is equal to 3. How we have to form it? 3 is nothing but a 3 pairs. 3 pairs is nothing but a 3 open brackets, 3 closing brackets. So these are the combinations we can do with 3 pairs of brackets. Okay, so our function, if the input is 3, the output should be how many number of the parentheses so we can generate with it. So to generate these combinations, I'm going to use the backtracking mechanism. So backtracking mechanism, the time complexity is the order of n, because the given number is n is equal to 3, so that it's order of n. So I'm going to do like this. So here is my code, how it will generate the parentheses for a given number. This is the function and the input is n. So the return result is a list of strings. So I'm going to create a result which is a list, and the helper method, this helper method, I'm sending like one of the temporary string in it, and the input and the to maintain the how many open brackets, how many closing brackets. So to count that, I'm passing two parameters. So here the initially I don't have any parameters in my hand, so that I'm going to send the 0 0, and then recursively I will increment those equivalent to n. Okay, so and at the finally this is the result, the list of strings. I'm returning back to the calling function, so it will display the results. Let's go ahead and see the helper method. This helper method, which is taking the inputs as we discussed, that this is the result and this is the temporary string, and this is the input, and this is the how many open brackets we have right now and how many closing brackets we have right now. So here we have the sum of the boundary conditions, and when we need to stop the function, when we need to add the result into the result list, and all these boundary conditions we have to take into consideration. So this is one of the boundary condition, when the string dot length equivalent to max into 2. So the given n, which is a number of pairs, so each pair is nothing but a 2, so that the input is max, so max into 2. So for example, let's say 3 is an input, 3 into 2 it's a 6. So it's like 6 brackets in saying that. Okay, it's including open and closing bracket. If equivalent to the 6, then I want to add that string into the result list, and I'm just returning from this function, so that so I got my destination here, that is a open brackets including the closing brackets, it's a 6. So which I already added into the result list and written from this function. So if not, so the string length is not equivalent to the max into 2, what I have to do it. Let's go and compare our open bracket. So the number of open brackets and number of closing brackets which must be equivalent to the given input. So that I'm just comparing here, that if the open is less than the max, so it will start from 0. For example, the max equal to 3, open start from 0 0 1 2. So number of brackets is 3. That's the reason I kept open is less than the max. And I'm going to call the helper method the recursively by adding one bracket into the temporary string, and by incrementing the count of the open bracket to +1 once. So it will keep call, it will add all the open brackets into the temporary string. Once it is over, it will come back to here and validate the close. If close is a less than open, obviously once we, by the time it completes, open is going to be 0 1 2, it's number 2, and 0 is close is still 0, so 0 is less than 2. Yes, exactly, this is a less than 2, so that we are going to keep adding the closing brackets in it. So we'll increment the close, so it will keep adding the brackets, the number of open brackets. It will add those equivalent number of the open brackets into the temporary string, and at the end it will both open brackets as well as the closing brackets it will add, and at the finally it will whenever it is equivalent to the max into 2, it will add those brackets, the final brackets, into the result and return that to the calling function. Let's go ahead and run this function. Yeah, given input is equal to 3, that indicates 3 open brackets, 3 closing brackets. So these are the combinations I can make with the 3 open brackets and 3 closing brackets with the successful closing and open parentheses. I can submit this one. Perfect. It's a 1 minute faster than the 89.96%. Good. Thank you for watching.